Engineering mechanics. If three forces acting at a point B represented in magnitude and direction by the three sides of a triangle taken in order, the forces shall be in equilibrium. Option A true. In order to double the period of simple pendulum, the length of the string should be quadrupled. The unit of angular acceleration is rad by s2. The loss of kinetic energy due to direct impact of two bodies. Dependence. If a given force acting on a body does not change, for any system of coplanar forces, the condition of equilibrium is that the all of the above. Algebraic sum of horizontal components of all the forces should be 0. Algebraic sum of the vertical components of all the forces should be 0. Algebraic sum of moments of all the forces about any point should be 0. In a single threaded worm and worm wheel, the number of teeth on the worm is 50. The diameter of the effort wheel is 100 millimeter and that the load of drum is 50 mm. The velocity ratio is 100. In actual machines, mechanical advantage is less than. The angle of inclination of the plane at which the body begins to move down the plane is called angle of friction. The minimum force required to slide a body of weight W on a rough horizontal plane is W10. The range of projectile on a downward inclined plane is more than. The forces whose lines of action are parallel to each other and act in the same directions are known as like parallel forces. The distance between the point of projection and the point where the projectile strikes the ground is known as range correct. If tension is the cable supporting a lift moving downwards is half, the tension when it's moving upwards, the acceleration of its lift is option D, none of these. The impact between two lead spaces is approximately equal to an inelastic. The angle of the inclined plane at which a body just begins to slide down the plane is called helix angle false. The total energy possessed by a system of moving bodies is constant at every instant. Moment of inertia of a circular section about an axis perpendicular to the section is option C, d4/32. A couple produces rotational motion. A non-reversible machine is also called a self-locking machine. Agree. A body will begin to move down an inclined plane if the angle of inclination of the plane is greater than. Which of the following statement is wrong? Option D. The velocity ratio of machine is the ratio of load lifted to the effort applied. When the rigid body is suspended vertically and it accelerates with a small amplitude under the action of the force of gravity, the body is known as option B. Compound pendulum. A smooth cylinder lying on its convex surface remains unstable. A machine having an efficiency less than 50% is known as non-reversible machine. A formed structure is perfect if the number of members are equal to. A ladder is resting on a rough ground and leaning against a smooth vertical wall. The force of friction will action 0 at its upper end. All the steel trusses of the bridges have one of their end roller supported and other end hinged. The main advantage of such a support is that the stresses remain stable. Option A true. The force required to move the body up the plane will be minimum if it makes an angle with the inclined plane. Option A equal to 1 watt is equal to 1 joule bar S. Vector's method for the resultant force is also called polygon law of forces. Yes, it's correct. Option A. The acceleration of particle moving with a simple harmonic motion at any instant is given by option B 2 by y. The power developed by a body acted upon by torque T Newton meter and revolving at radian by S is given by T in volts. The center of gravity of a hemisphere lies at the distance of 3 r by 8 from its base measured along with the vertical radius. Option A right. The friction experienced by a body when at rest is known as static friction. The center of percussion is below the center of gravity of the body and is at a distance equal to option C K2G by H. A smooth cylinder lying on a horizontal surface. The unit of moment of inertia of an area is m4. A machine which is capable of doing work in the reversed direction after the effort is removed is called a non-reversible machine. Option B no. The force applied on a body of mass 100 kg to produce an acceleration of 5 m by s2 is option C 500 m. A machine which is capable of doing any work in the reversed direction after the effort is removed is called reversible machine. Option B false. The velocity ratio of a simple wheel and axle with D and D as the diameter of effort wheel and load axle is D by D. The center of acceleration and center of suspension for a compound pendulum are interchangeable. Option A true.